A lot of people look for the solution to their suffering in biochemical modifications, in medication, and things like that, right? Some of that could be an alternative to having an insight, having a capacity to modify their thinking and their attitudes. But in other cases, it might be that a person doesn't have the right balance of chemicals in their brain in order to be able to begin the kinds of insight that you're talking about. What do you see as the relationship between this kind of work and, like, I don't know, biochemistry, medication, all that kind of stuff? Do you think there's a certain balance of chemicals needed in order to have insights effectively at all?
I don't know, you know, that I mean, I was a physiologist in school, university, but um, I don't know about these things. See, but we are talking about physiology. And again, I'm not talking about what occurs physiologically. So when somebody says, a lot of times we bandy around this business of saying being clinically depressed. I'm clinically depressed. What the fuck does that mean? I'm clinic. Well, see, what it should mean in my mind is that you have some real imbalance in the chemicals or the neurons and synapses in your brain. You're fucked up. Okay. Something is like fucking up in there. All right. Physiologically. Now I acknowledge that can happen. See, we can have brain traumas and strokes and shit. We can have stuff happen when it's like, well, fucks us up, right? Or whatever. But how many of us, get depressed? And that's not the case at all. See, and we always like to blame something outside of us. You know what I'm saying? And so you can see I'm a little old school, okay? Because I'm an old man. I mean, come on. See, but it's a different set of principles. And one is like everybody has PTSD now, right? I mean, PTSD has become so fucking common. You trip over it walking down the street. Okay. It's like, come on. We reserved that in the past for guys that we called early on shell shock. It's like, yeah, you get really fucked up because you're in war and combat. You see and hear and go through experiences that a human is bad. Okay, it kind of and screws you up, and then your brain doesn't work so well afterwards because it keeps bugging you. Okay, see, and then you can solve that too. You can solve that also, like that. See, but now it's like a good excuse. I have problems. Oh, I must be PTSD. Post traumatic. Oh, I had trauma in my life. Who the fuck hasn't had trauma in their life? I don't know about you, but I've had a lot. Okay. I grew up a human and maybe I had more than my share, but Jesus Christ, it's like you're going to live in relationship to your trauma, past tense, right? Or are you going to live? Are you going to get over it? It's like a couple of things, like let's say, I think it was Jung, one of the psychologists said, my past actually doesn't decide who I am. I do. I may be paraphrasing, but you get the point. Okay. You see, and people don't get responsible for that. Like I'm doing it now. But I had a past, and the past made me who I am today. Yeah, unfortunately. Now toss it. What? Toss it. And seriously, you won't miss it. Anyway, I could go on and on. Or like Jesus said, Jesus said, kill your parents, get rid of your parents, which, okay, obviously didn't mean really kill your parents, right? But get them out of you. Step forward as a human being at some point who's now creating life and being responsible for their own life, their own self, whatever, without being all programmed and fucked up and traumatized and, all that stuff, and a lot of that seems to start with parents, God bless them. Okay. Without the parents, you wouldn't be. So lighten up. Okay. Anyway.
Thanks for watching. If you find value in the work we're doing here and want to get involved, I have some invitations for you. Join the newsletter and get real insights and weekly facilitation. Check out the school community, the Consciousness Path, and engage with others who are doing this work and access free course material. And if you're serious and want to have major insights and breakthroughs for yourself, you're invited to join a workshop. They're more powerful than you think. Links for all this can be found in the description below. Ciao for now.